There are two major transitions in a professional's life. First transition is the transition from an individual contributor to being a manager of people. And that turns out to be a very non trivial transition for most of us. For some people, it's natural, but for me and others, we have to be intentional about it, work at it. And then the second transition comes later on when you move from a manager of teams to a manager of managers. Let's talk about the first transition from our individual contributor to manager. It's a challenge because we don't know how to let go. So you have this perfectionist tendency, and so you're busy trying to micromanage, you're trying to do other people's job instead of doing your job. And I remember when I was making that shift, I was guilty of it as well. And in my book, I was very honest. I talked about the fact that I was running this small factory in America, and the workers were unionized, much older than me, 50 years old. I was 25. And it was just, amusing but stupid. They would go and hide in the toilets, and I would go bang on the toilet door to get them out and back working on the machine. And then one day I realized, wow, this is really stupid. It's never going to work. And what I had to learn is how to hold people accountable, which means set expectations, give feedback, and ultimately learn to hold people accountable for whether they do it or don't do it. And that's a whole skill. The other thing you have to learn is, hey, if you're doing other people's job, who's doing yours? So you have to learn to step back and focus on what you're supposed to do, not on what other people are supposed to do. And your job as that manager is what? Is to set direction, build a team, which means hire good people, set expectations, give them feedback, coaching, and then get them to work together. So your job is to do all those things and then manage yourself. So if you focus on yourself, then you won't have the time to micromanage and do other people's work. So, like all things, it's something that you really need to work at and get some coaching yourself. But I find a lot of people get stuck. They don't know how to make this transition.